welcome into the podcast. Welcome to SmollCast. My name is Roku, and I am your possessed cat girl of the Vtuber community. And I am one of the hosts today, and my co-host is Kitty Cat. Kitty Cat, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, I am a shapeshifter, but I am most often seen in this blue and orange cat form. And I am a very busy person, always wrapped up in projects.
Very true. Very true.
And we also have a guest with us today.
And that is Flamey. Flamey, introduce yourself.
Hi guys, thank you for having me on. Thank you. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Flamey, or RedFlameVT. I run the Burning Tavern over on Twitch at RedFlameVT, and I am a Sun Fragment VTuber who's been streaming for just over a year now, but I'm currently on a break.
Yes, that's right, and that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today. But before we get into that, we kind of want to get to know you a little bit more and get our audience to know you. So, let me ask you a question, Flamey. If you had to make a decision on if you wanted to be a different kind of VTuber, what kind of VTuber would you want to be?
Ooh, bring
A
back
different
last question.
type of VTuber?
So, like, if you were not a flame spirit, or soul fragment, or whatever.
Well,
I
like
feel
if you
like-
were not like a variety content, like what would you change your
going that
content
route.
to be?
Oh, if I wasn't variety, I would probably either find like a handful of video games that I would stick to. So maybe like, I know Halo and DBD are two games that I've enjoyed my entire life for the most part. So I might do that, or most likely I'd probably just be like a just chatting person, because I talk a lot, as everybody here knows, and I have a lot of life experiences to share, so just chatting would probably be it.
I mean, you still can do that stuff, can't you?
Yeah, no, for sure.
That's part of
And
variety.
well, yeah, once I come back from my break, I am planning on starting out with a just chatting stream, probably catching people up with where I've been, what I've been up to, plans for the future, and also just maybe talking about some life stuff. And I've been meaning to try and start up like some just chatting stuff similar to a podcast, but not necessarily in a podcast style, but just chatting with friends and all that.
Okay. So is it kind of be like like our podcast style, or is it going to be more like solo content style?
A bit of both, really. It's more so just I'll be talking to myself, but maybe I'll have on, for example, maybe I'll have Roku at some point in time, maybe Tenchi, maybe other people. I might also do it once or twice with some IRL people, so maybe I'll bring Mama Flame on after she comes back from her vacation. Maybe I'll bring on a friend or two from life to talk about what it's like being a friend with me IRL. Stuff like that.
Fair enough. What about you, Roku? Are you going to answer your own question? did we lose Roku?
Just the
kind of
blank stare. She's trying to boot me on the nose.
I asked you first, Kat. Always.
Well, you might have, but we really didn't hear it.
This is accurate.
No, I'm pretty sure I asked you.
No one heard it. You were muted,
No.
but all right, I will go first.
For those wondering where I get my scuffness from, you have your answer now.
All VTubers are scuffed. It's just part of it.
Yeah, but I get it from Roku.
But yes, to answer what I would be if I was not variety, it would either be Minecraft or frickin' art.
Come here.
Because working on 3D models is a big part of what I do, and it's just kind of taking a backseat streaming at the moment.
Help, Roku's trying to slap me.
Well, if I had to change my content, I would like to do playthroughs. I would want to be a playthrough streamer.
I'm kind of surprised you didn't say just chatting.
Well, I do like just chatting, but I mean, I feel like some playthrough content creators are just chatting pretty much. They just play a game and you talk to them. Great.
You play a game and you're just playing the game. It's like, yeah, so for dinner I had some burgers.
What was that game? Because I know there's a game that you can do a playthrough of. That would be the perfect just chatting simulator, essentially. I think it's plastic rubber
Duck
duck or
Simulator.
something. Yes,
Plastic-
that one.
Plastic
Placid-
Simulator.
It's called Plastic Duck Simulator. I have it on my desktop.
Yes.
I don't have it open right now though.
It's basically a wallpaper.
It was like $2 Canadian.
No, I
Doesn't
wanna
have much of a
play,
storyline.
Like indie game.
It's
like
got a great
multiplayer.
in-depth story. Yeah, but aren't you sort of kind of already that?
I'm kind of, but I only like play them like a couple episodes of them, and then I'm like, okay, that's it for the indie game. Go buy it, guys, bye.
I say we should get Roku to become a horror streamer.
No.
That's one that I won't do either. That's not work well.
That's one that I like kind of have already do because some of my favorite games I've streamed in the
I
past.
mean,
like,
that
year
makes
have
sense.
been
You're
horror.
like a flashlight.
Shine bright like a diamond.
No.
Like, you can't walk into a dark room. It's no longer dark.
Oh, you're right.
Hey, I have control of that. I can be stealthy and sneaky. What do you
Oh yeah, I've
mean?
never seen
Yeah,
you
I-
be sneaky. Never. My
How you
entire
think
life
I
you'd be
avoid
quiet.
getting slapped by Roku half the time?
That doesn't sound right.
But no, I have streamed horror games a lot this past year because there was Outlast, there was Soma, which has now become one of my favorites. DVD, if you could classify that as a horror game? Question mark. Darkwood was fun for a bit. There's a bunch that I really enjoyed.
Yeah, Roku and I are too much of scaredy cats for that. And
Literally
cat.
and metaphorically.
Well, I am a scaredy cat, but for some reason, people love watching horror games when I play them.
Yeah,
Yes,
because
I
they
also-
like watching the scaredy cat squirm. I have
The
seen it. It has
worst.
happened to me as well.
Like the past couple months, I'm pretty much a horror game streamer because like they kept redeeming a horror game every single week. And I
Speaking of
just
which,
couldn't
guys, be
keep
sure
up
to
with
save
it.
up channel points on Roku's channel. Redeem that horror
No,
game.
please
Let's go.
don't.
Let's get one. Let's try aim for one every week.
No, I don't want.
I mean,
to
hey,
play
if you bully the streamer too much, they're gonna get burnt out.
Exactly.
Okay,
My
I
goodness.
swear I'm innocent. Just because I'm flames does not mean that I burn out every other streamer to try and get rid of the competition. Okay.
Mm.
What's that mean, Roku? What? Are we on Among Us? You think I'm sus?
You're always sus. So what? Is that
No,
even a
you're sus. I
question?
saw you vent. What do you mean?
Exactly.
You're just proving my point now.
Anyways, do we be able to get on to the actual topic about talking about burnout? I was trying to transition there. No one took it.
Well, I didn't have a question for him.
Well, that was for the warm-up question, but I think we were warmed up enough.
I heard that Burnout Paradise is a pretty good video game. Is that what we're going to talk about today?
Burnout Paradise.
Is that what the game's called, or am I dumb? Hold up, let me Google
I've
it.
never
don't
heard
know,
of
but
Burnout Paradise.
Burnout never seems like a
Paradise?
paradise to me. It
Mm-mm.
seems like the exact opposite.
Bro, I went
Actually,
to spell burnout, I
ironically-
spelled burn rot. Yeah, no, it is called Burnout Paradise. That's right.
Ironically, I actually had an argument about burnout with somebody, and so people were trying to. So we were having an argument differentiating stress and burnout, and they said, "Well, that doesn't make any sense because now burnout sounds more like depression than it does sound like actual burnout."
Jesus.
Because burnout has like a lot of different like key factors, emotionally, mentally affects you same way the way that the depression does, and so it was like a huge argument about this, but I'm not gonna go into that. Today we're gonna talk about more on you, Flamey, and we want to hear more about your journey, because I think that's the most important topic today is we kind of want to know exactly how did you get to where you were until this point, basically, and what you plan to do moving forward. So let's start with how you got here.
So it all started a year and a half ago when I first started No,
That's a
I
really
won't
long
go.
intro.
Yeah, I won't go that freaking in depth or like give a
I mean, at
whole
least you
entire
can start at
origin
birth.
story. It
Well,
all
that
started
pretty much is
22.
birth.
Sorry, 22 years ago when I was born IRL. Then
Yes, I
I
was
went
born at a
through
very young
school.
age.
I was born at a very young age, and I was already crying.
Can I make a guess? What happens?
No.
I bet your mom dropped you.
Hey, she has been on record saying that she did not drop me. It was probably my dad. Hey, her words, not mine.
You know what? Fair.
All right, let's get back on topic.
But yes, back on topic. So recently, I actually, when I decided to go through the freaking burnout, I made a Discord post, and then I think freaking like yesterday or the day before, I also made a Twitter post just explaining the situation and shit, and like, hey, I'm gonna be gone for about a week or two. Excuse me. Hold up, I got another one coming. Or not. Okay, never mind. But basically, I'm gonna be taking a freaking like a week or two break. Now that I'm looking at it, it's probably gonna be 2 weeks, just because I've also got IRL stuff happening right about now, work related. So I'm probably gonna take 2 weeks. But pretty much what happened was when I decided to take that break, it actually hit me on Tuesday, and pretty much just Tuesday. So Monday, I had done a 7-hour long live stream because I accidentally booked 2 collabs together. So I had a collab with my friend Tenchi and also with the girlfriend Angel. And so I did some Portal 2 with Angel, then switched over to Halo with Tenchi. And that lasted for like 7 hours. And I was just drained and exhausted afterwards. And then the next day, I did about 4 or 5 hours of streaming with a few friends and all that. And about midway through, probably around the 2-3 hour marker, it hit me like a freight train. Yes, I did also double book collabs on the weekend. Thank you, small ones. Which was a collab with my friend Pixie and then Angel as well, and then transitioned over to Tommy, myself, and Anarchy, speaking which that video I think should be posted on the Evil Anarchy YouTube sometime. But basically, just I've been streaming a lot, and so I reached out to a few people after I decided to take the break because of burnout. Because, like I said before, Tuesday, about midway through, it hit me like a freight train, and I was just exhausted. I had no energy, and I don't think it necessarily wasn't I don't want to be streaming right now. It was more so just I don't have the energy or motivation to stream right now, and I don't feel like I'm making the best content that I could be. And the only reason I continued streaming for the rest of that day was because of the people that I was freaking hanging out and streaming with, especially the fact that it was with somebody new to me. It was my first collab with this individual, and I'm like, okay, I don't want to cut it short and like come off as mean or rude or make them think that I'm cutting it short because I don't like them. I had a bunch of fun with the person, actually. But then I reached out to a few people such as Roku, Anarchy, and a few other of my friends, basically being like, hey, I'm burnt out right now, and I've noticed some people who used to come watch me don't watch me as much anymore. What do you recommend? And Anarchy sent me like a freaking 4-phase step by the books plan thing.
Sounds like him.
And yeah, Anarchy set out a freaking plan for me with like 4 different phases and stuff. And huge freaking shout out to him because I am going to be taking points from that and all that sort of stuff. But I also reached out to other people like Roku who recommended that I take my time and rediscover myself and try to come up with new things. Heck, her and I had a like 2-hour call the other day about it. And then Anarchy also sent me my Twitch tracker. For those of you who don't know what Twitch tracker is, it's basically a website that you can monitor your growth. Cool and yeah, it's a lot of cool info such as like famous people who follow you, so Twitch partners that follow you. It also has like your hours, your follower gains, etc. And then it also has like what games you played the most, how well you do with those games. For example, Dead by Daylight, I think that's my most streamed game. It's also one of the ones I do pretty well with. And then there's other games like Darkwood, which I did terrible with. I think that was like -4 followers per hour, which I don't know how that's possible.
Seen you play Darkwood at all.
I did like 1 or 2 streams of it. But yeah, so Anarchy sent me that, and he explained, yeah, you stream way too freaking much, because I was streaming anywhere between 80 to 100 hours a month.
Yeah, you stream
yeah, nearly as much as a full-time job.
Yeah.
And I would stream, because, and the thing is, because I would stream anywhere between freaking like 4 to 6 days a week, and those streams ended up being about 3 or 4 hours at least, and at most it would end up being anywhere between like 7 or 8 hours. So... yeah. Basically, and the reason why I was doing that is because with regards to my work and all that sort of stuff, right now it's a bit finicky because back in April I got a new full-time job, and then I quit it in September due to it conflictions with it, and it wanted to change my freaking schedule every other month. So I left that place, and I was unemployed for a bit. So I said, screw it. I don't have a job right now. I don't have anything else to do. Why don't I just stream and see what it's like to do streaming for full time for a bit? Then end of October, I visited Roku, so that was a bit of a good little break there from streaming. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And then, yeah, and she threw me out the car window.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
On the freeway.
It, though.
I only got a bit bruised.
Yeah, he
Anyways.
Yeah. Don't worry. The freeway wasn't too terrible. Only a little scratch on the elbow.
To reel this back in.
But yes, to reel it back in. After I came back from the vacation in October, November I was really busy with a lot of life stuff and family stuff, and then December I finally got my new job at the cafe that I work at as a server. So I had a new job, but because I was just starting there, they didn't give me the full-time hours, and I never really actually did, which is why I'm planning on leaving that place soon.
They even reduced your hours, right?
Yeah, no, they reduced my hours. I started off with about 4 or 5 shifts a week. They reduced it down to 3, then down to 2, and now I get like 1 shift a week.
Which is insane, because like at that point they really want you to quit.
Yeah, and I'm like, the only reason why I'm able to have any money right about now, like I literally told Mom of Flame, I'm like, hey, I can't pay for the rent last month because my workplace isn't giving me enough shifts. But that's neither here nor there. So basically, because I don't have anything to preoccupy my time with currently, I decided, screw it, I'll just stream more again. And that tends to happen a lot, where it's like, okay, I don't have anything to do, might as well just stream. And what I didn't realize is that when you stream too much, not only is it you get burnt out because you're doing the same freaking thing over and over and over again, and it is streaming, for those of you who don't do it or don't do it too often, it is really, really freaking draining on emotional levels sometimes, but also just your freaking social battery. Because even if you're just playing by yourself, even if you have nobody talking in chat, there is still that social aspect of you are live streaming and projecting yourself to the freaking internet and to the world and all that. So even though there might not be anybody in chat, even though Twitch might say you have 0 viewers, you 100% have at least 1 or 2 people coming in every now and then, seeing what's up, seeing what your stream is, maybe being recommended by Twitch, maybe from Discord, Twitter, etc. And so there's always that social aspect that slowly drains away from you, which is why you see, which is why a lot of the freaking times the streamers, in my opinion, they'll be high energy, they'll be freaking hyped up, they'll be super static and energetic at the beginning, and then as the stream goes more and more further along, they just pass out of the table. And I gotta take them from the tavern, I gotta put them upstairs, put them in the bed, little chocolate meat, give them a little head pat.
What? Chocolate mint? What is that? What?
Tuck them into bed.
Oh.
I'm making a joke.
You're making baby talk, man. I can't.
No, I'm making a joke because in my server, the AFK call is called passed out on the table.
That's right.
Which is funny as hell to me. But yeah, a lot of the streamers, you'll notice, they'll like at the beginning of the week or the beginning of the stream, they'll be high energy, they'll be hyped up. You think they just had 7 things of coffee, 2 energy drinks, and it's like, whoa! And then the end of the week or the end of the stream, they kind of die down and they're a bit less energetic. And another major point with regards to that is just because, especially if it's during collabs, not only do you have the social aspect of your own freaking stream, but you also have the social aspect of interacting with this individual and their stream and their chat, especially if there's somebody bigger than you or somebody who you look up to. I can't speak English. I only speak Flamey. Because then it's even more draining, which is why...
mentally taxing, yeah.
Yes. Well, draining with regards to like your social battery, but also mentally taxing as well. Because then also some people... I know not everybody, but some people have it where freaking with collabs, you're constantly thinking, oh, am I doing okay? Oh, does this person like my energy? Am I messing
Oh,
up? Is this
yes,
person...
the
Yeah.
internal conversation at the same
Yep.
time of having external
yes.
conversation is completely real. I can confidently say every time I talk to chat, I think about like, oh, is this a weird thing to say? Oh, like, oh, is
100%. Another thing with regards to that
internal
shit-
conversation is a huge thing for me. What about for you, Kat?
because oh yeah.
Yes, internal conversation definitely does happen a lot, and especially like one of the things that I found is when you're trying to switch between different groups. So like I'll have the standard group that I do for D&D, and I know them very well. But then if I go try and collab with someone else, all of those voices pick up double time because like, does what works in that group work here?
Right.
Another major thing with regards to that and the freaking inner monologue is such as like what Kat said. It's like, oh yeah, for certain people, I can freaking be myself, let loose, and be complete degenerate. Like for example, my friend Pocket or Tenchi or Wiggle, I know I can be a complete degenerate, let loose, and I'm gonna be fine. They're gonna enjoy it. We're all gonna be having laughs and making some pretty good content. But then with other people, possibly, such as a prime freaking example is Roku.
Don't
I know
try
that I
it
need
with
to.
me. I will beat
I-
you.
I was just about to say, she will bite my ankles off because she's small. With Roku, I know I need to rein it
your
in a
mic
bit.
peaked. Jesus Christ, calm down.
I don't know why it peaked. But no, with
Just got
Roku.
excited.
Passionate.
Ah!
Okay.
But with Roku,
That
I
was
know
not
that I
an
need.
invitation to do it again.
I actually went quieter that time.
It wasn't.
I blame Twitch or Discord or no, we're on
sure,
Twitch.
whatever.
Yeah, we're on Twitch. We're not even on Discord.
Yeah. So, but with regards to what was I talking about?
Are you
Maybe lose my
serious
train of
right
thought.
now?
Oh yeah, but yeah. So you made me lose my train of thought. My train of thought pulled an Ozzy Osbourne and went off the rails.
Why we got this guy sitting here?
Anyways, but no, with regards to certain people, I know I can just be myself, be a total freaking degenerate, and it's absolute chaos, and it's great. And then other people, such as Roku, I know I need to rein it in, be a bit more, I don't want to say so, but be a bit more tame. And there are certain jokes and topics that I can bring up with some people that I can't bring up with others, etc. And I think a major thing with regards to new people and freaking collaborating with new people, which I do a lot. Like just the other week, I was collaborating with 3 new people, like 3 or 4 new people. And I think that's a big thing that people try to figure out and like have a hard time figuring out sometimes is, okay, how can I act around this person? For example, I know there's certain freaking individuals where it's like, okay, cool, I've seen them stream before, I know what they're like, so when I go to freaking collaborate with them or when I reach out and be like, hey, you want to do something together sometime, I know how to act. Like, for example, my friend Bunny, that's just what I call her, she's rebranding right now. I've seen her streams, I've been active in the community enough, but I haven't collabed with her. But I know that when I do, I need to be a bit more calm, quiet, and tame, and like what do you call it? Contained. I need to like bring down my levels because I know her streams. I know she's much more a quiet and like comfy kind, rather than the and explosive energy that I
Like
usually
you.
have with other people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I think our chat has gotten a very good example of your explosive energy.
I think most of the chat has experienced it firsthand.
Well,
Oh,
if
yeah.
they hadn't, they have now. And I can say this is. I don't think this is the most energy I've seen from you, but this is a good example of your energy.
This one is a wild one.
Yep. There's a reason his shirt is fire extinguishers.
Yep. Very true. Very true. Just kind of bringing it back a little bit. So just in general, that was more talking more or less like, you know, why it's really stressful, like in general, to be a streamer.
But another thing with regards to the stress about streaming, that a lot, I find this is a major freaking one that people do not bring up or don't talk about, especially on stream, is if it isn't necessarily just the social aspect of, oh, okay, I've got a Twitch chat, okay, I've got new people, okay, there's people that I'm interacting with while you're streaming. But another major one that people don't bring up is offline, off stream is still very freaking. It's still very draining and all that, because sure, you're not live or anything, but you still have to make posts, you still have to be relevant, you still gotta talk to some people, you gotta check Twitter, you gotta do networking. Marketing is another thing, yeah. And like, even though you're not live, you still gotta interact with the community every now and then. You gotta freaking like give updates, you gotta tell people about what's going on in life and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And you also have to plan for the future streams. So sure, yeah, I'm not gonna go live. Let's say I know I'm not gonna go live today or tomorrow, but I still have to freaking come up with a plan and talk to people about streaming 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, even 8 days in advance. And especially if you're a content creator like me, who loves doing stuff with other people.
Wait, 8 days in advance? That's unheard of.
I'm over exaggerating. Okay,
if you're not already planning 8 days in advance, there's something wrong.
Yeah,
hey, but are you free tomorrow?
Yeah. You have no clue how many times I have either asked that or been asked that. But usually with that, but usually with the last minute the stuff where it's like, hey, are you free to do stream tonight? Usually those last minute plans are with people who I either know their availability and schedule, or I'm just really good friends with, and I know, hey, they're going to be playing this game, I'm going to be playing it as well, why don't we play it together? And just double up on the cost.
Yeah, some people is just due to availability, and that's just how it is.
Oh yeah. But and another major thing with regards to that is freaking, like I said before, somebody like me who's much more collab orientated and hangs out with a lot of people, I have to like I have to wait for my schedule from work, then I have to tell the people who I'm planning with, playing collabs with, hey, this is my schedule, what days are you free? Then I have to make sure, okay, I have a collab plan for this day, I need to make sure not to double up on it, like I've done recently, twice. And then it's like, so even though I'm not live streaming, there's still a social aspect.
Have you never considered just using a calendar, Flamey? What's wrong with you? You could have solved this very easily if you just had a calendar that you used.
True.
What? Don't disagree with me and actually do it.
But well, I do have a schedule that I use. So this is
so you do.
Yeah. So this is another thing. When I first started out streaming, I was freaking scuffed as hell. And Roku can attest to that, because she's the one who made me even more scuffed.
What? I didn't do that. I literally, when I met you, I came to your streams and I actually got into call with you and fixed your stream. I don't want to hear it from you.
Yeah, no, if anybody
I'm
has
the one who made you more scuffed, given that I have given you a 3D model.
True. And if anybody has seen that meme where the dude picks up the cat and is just like, you're my new friend now. We're getting soft tacos for dinner, and then that music plays. That's basically what Roku did with me. Picked me up and said, we're making you into a VTuber now. Because for those of you who don't know, before like the first month or so of streaming, I was on a like crappy laptop that wasn't even a gaming laptop, and I had a webcam, and I basically just used the laptop's webcam. So I used to be a webcam streamer for like a month. Now I rarely, if ever, do them. And also I was streaming in 360 pixel quality because somebody told me to do auto bitrate. Don't do it. That's become a meme in my freaking group, in my like friend group and chat now. 360p. I even have a glitchy emote that I titled 360p because of it.
Fair enough.
Ruth is right, small ones.
So one thing I do want to try and transition towards is, because we've talked a lot about what causes burnout and like how you can get to that point. How do you solve it is what I want to try and address now. Or how do you avoid it?
Well, yeah, what have you personally at this point, you've decided, okay, you've taken a break, which is actually a really good point, is sometimes people like don't take their break and they just completely feel like they just want to completely quit streaming. Right, so how do they avoid that, and like what steps are you taking? Because you are obviously planning to come back. Like, what steps do you need to take to get to this point?
Well, I think the first step with regards to freaking burnout is you need to have the what I would classify as the prerequisites of actually being burnt out. Because there is a difference between being burnt out and just needing a break from streaming for a day or two. Because if you feel like, oh, yesterday I didn't do as good, or if you feel like freaking, oh, yesterday's stream was terrible, bit scuffed, I didn't do as well, or whatever, take that next day and like examine it, or just take a break, focus on yourself, or whatever shit. Because to be able to make content, not only does your stuff have to be good, but you yourself also have to be good. So I think the first prerequisite of burnout is make sure you are actually burnt out, and not that you just need a day or two break. Because there's a huge freaking difference between taking a break for a day and being burnt out.
But some people just take a break
yeah.
for the day, but then they don't. That doesn't resolve the issue, right?
Yeah, and with regards to burnout, I think what burnout truly freaking comes down to is how do you feel on a freaking emotional scale, on the emotional level. So like, how are your emotions? Are you still energetic? Are you still motivated? Are you still excited to stream? Or are you freaking dragging your feet in your heels and being like, oh great, another day, another dollar. This is a drag. Like freaking Shikamaru from Naruto.
You're getting $1 a day. Pay me, man.
Literally. Wow. Won't be here. But no, so I think with regards to burnout, it is a very emotional thing, but you also just have to freaking realize, okay, this is burnout. This isn't just I need a break. This is I need to take a break for like at least a freaking week or two, figure out why the burnout happened, if this really is burnout or whether you just need a day or two, and then also rediscover yourself, reapply that shit, and then figure out your solution. And I think with regards to figuring out whether you are burnt out or not, either it'll be gut instinct and you'll be like, oh shoot, this is burnout, I can tell, I can feel it. Or you take that day, you'd be like, okay, cool, I took a break from streaming for a day. Am I reinvigorated and motivated? And I'm like, okay, cool, yeah, I'm down to and I want to stream again. Or are you still like, dude, I'm exhausted? Like, for example, I started my break on Tuesday. Wednesday, when I had that first day, I was like, actually not having to worry about clicking go live and going streaming and preparing everything and all that sort of stuff. It was so relaxing not having to fucking worry about that and being like, okay, cool, I get to have this feeling for another week or two because I'm off. And it's similar to like a full-time job with regards to they give you vacation days because they know you need that break, you need that vacation.
Yeah.
And I think with regards to streaming, the burnout is you want to still be active with your community and all that so that you stay relevant and so that everybody doesn't freaking leave and so that when you're not live for 2 weeks, they're not like, okay, cool, he stopped streaming, bye. But you can do that simply by a freaking Twitter post, popping in Discord saying hi, or like in my case, hanging out with other streamers. Sure, you're hanging out with other people who are going to be live streaming and you're still doing the stuff that you'd be doing on stream, but you don't have to worry about, okay, I need to open up all my software, I need to do self-promotional shit, I need to keep an eye on my chat, etc., etc. It is so much more less.
Complete break, yeah.
And to a degree, you can treat it just like chilling with the homies or cracking open a brewski with the boys or something like that.
I think
go ahead.
when that happens, I think the best thing to do is just reevaluate what you're doing, like how much you have on your plate. Because that's exactly the reason why I stopped doing Twitter. I stopped doing like all the thank yous, addressing this and that. Like, of course I appreciate you guys, I love you guys, and like that's never gonna change. But it's also like I've kind of put social media aside a little bit just because I wanted time to just focus on myself outside of streaming, because streaming is like a full-time job already. Every single time you make a stream, you're thinking about content that you're doing that stream, you're doing the collabs, you're making sure everything's working. The amount of times I have stuff on stream that needs to be updated is immense. Every single time, every single week, something's different, something's changed, and there's probably issues that like go on. So even streaming by itself is already really stressful. So if I have to do extra stuff outside of streaming, it's immensely stressful. So like I think like a quick solution to some of that is just reducing the amount of work you put on your plate. Kat, for you, you probably could relate to this too, right? Is there a time where you just put way too much on your plate? Because you, for sure, you're like a project lover. You love putting stuff on your plate. Am I right?
Yeah.
How many models is that you've made now?
I'm starting to lose count, I'll be honest. And I definitely, the one thing that I want to point out as well, specifically with kind of the burnout that I've experienced, is sometimes burnout is specific to a specific activity. And if you can identify that, it's a whole lot easier to like realize what you're doing and manage it. Because for me, I have gotten burnt out on specifically model making. I have had an issue where like some model was just not working with me. It was having all kinds of trouble. And I realized I can't do this, but I can go stream or something like that.
Yeah.
So I'll always notice what is causing it and see, does trimming that out first work? Before you take the like big, okay, stop everything, I am just going away for a week.
And as somebody who is a bit more gameplay focused and orientated with regards to like, I play video games for almost all my freaking streams and all that sort of shit, I can kind of relate to that with regards to certain video games. Like, for example, I know a lot of people, for example, my friend Sophia Peachy, or even my friend Lotus or whatever, they started out as one game specific streamers. So, for example, Sophia, when I met her, she was strictly solo. She was strictly League of Legends or Dead by Daylight. My friend Lotus, she was strictly Dead by Daylight. But slowly and surely, as they continue streaming more and more, they branched out to doing variety content because of burnout. And similar to you with model making, I found last year I was streaming Dead by Daylight so freaking much that I decided to take a break from it. I still streamed it every now and then, but it wasn't like I doubled up on it in the same week. And that's another thing that I try to avoid, is I try to avoid doing the same game within a week, because then, yeah, sure, it's still going to be slightly different, but it's going to be very similar content because it's going to be the same game. So that's why I like to switch it up and try to do different ones each time.
Yeah.
Just like different people each time. It's not like I'm going to bring on the exact same freaking person for all 3 streams in 1 week. I'm going to try and mix it up, maybe do solo, maybe do one person, maybe do another person.
What? You don't want to see me 3 days in a row? Is there something wrong?
You can barely handle me for 2 hours.
No, that's right. You're right. Sorry.
Yeah.
One thing I want to bring up as well is that everyone has different thresholds for things, and you need to pay very close attention to yours. Because I know we've talked a lot about double booking and how that can drive burnout.
Yeah.
But I've found personally for me, some stuff I can double book if I'm very careful about what I'm double booking. So like played up with friends and then going into a small ones collab where we're playing golf with friends, that's perfectly fine. But then if I do like a very dramatic Haywen SMP stream and then try and switch to played up with Flamey and Roku, that's 2 ends of the emotional spectrum, and I am burning myself out that day.
Yeah, I find that's kind of similar to what happened with me freaking recently. But like when I was doing the freaking double up collab with Demonologist, it was with myself, Pixie, and Angel, aka Senpai Alex VT, and the 3 of us were doing it. And yeah, it was great. I was having a blast. And then I basically just switched up the people. I went from playing with Pixie and Angel to I was doing it with the Tommy and Aniki. And I was still having a blast. I was still trying that stuff. It was really fun. It was really great and all that. And sure, even though I double booked, it was still the same game, just different people. Whereas on Monday, I switched over from freaking, yeah, exactly, Boys Nights. Let's go, yeah. Whereas Monday, it went from Demonologist. Was I playing Demonologist? I think, dog, I don't know. I'm pretty sure it was Demonologist, and then I switched over to Halo, which are 2 completely freaking different games. Because one is somewhat relaxing, but it's more of a jump scare and it's horror. Whereas Halo is a first-person shooter, and we were doing the highest difficulty. So it went from something chills, spooks, jump scares, but also having fun with the friends, to something challenging, difficult, and trying to get through with a friend. So that like opposite just switch of difference and all that sort of stuff, I think is why I got burnt out that night, and then it led into the next day. Plus, the other thing was it happened like late at night, because I think by the time we wrapped it up, it was like 2 to 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh god, I couldn't do that. I remember my first, because I tried to do a 24-hour stream, and during this 24-hour stream, my goal was not to sleep.
Oh,
And that was the worst decision I ever made because I streamed for 18 hours straight. So that was without sleep or anything.
Yeah.
Because I started around noon and then I went into like, I think 7 a.m. or like 8 a.m. stream. And I remember that day because from that day forth, I could not. I need to sleep during really long streams.
I had a very similar thing happen, and like example to what you're talking about, Roku. When I was first started streaming, I didn't know like freaking anything at all were shite, and I decided, hey, for a 30 follower goal, I'm gonna do a 24-hour live stream. So I did that, and about 17 or 18 hours in, my internet cut out, and I managed to get everything restarted. And well, I didn't manage to get everything restarted. I tried getting everything restarted. It was being a pain in the ass. I'm like, you know what? I've been up for 18 hours. I'm freaking tired. I don't want to go through the hassle of setting all this shit up.
Yep.
I'm gonna just go sleep. And then I explained the next day, hey, yeah, stuff went out, so I'm just gonna continue the rest of it tonight. But yeah, with regards to burnout, just it's good to step back, take a break, reevaluate yourself, rediscover yourself, be like, okay, what made me get burnt out? What do I need to do / accomplish? Or do I need to do something to get over this burnout? Or do I just need a freaking break and fucking relax and get my stuff together and focus and prioritize things? I think that's a major thing. Pretty much is.
I think that's really good though, right? Because it's like everyone is different, right? And you always have to evaluate yourself because everyone has different limitations. Because I know some people are like really introverted and you need to take like a lot of breaks during streams and stuff like that. Like you can't be talking for a full 8 hours. Some people look at me and they're just like, they come stream with me and they're like, I don't even know how you do it for 8 hours or like 12 hours. Like I couldn't do that, right? Some people literally cannot do that because they just get so physically exhausted. Even though you take breaks in between, like I like to take my breaks every like 4 hours if needed. And it's like, it's only even like if needed. Sometimes I go like 6 hours and there's no break. And then I take like a little break, maybe half hour, 45-minute break. But like some people, like they need more breaks in between. That's perfectly fine. But like that's like every streamer is different and it's just knowing your limit, right?
I think backtracking super quick to burnout and the reasoning why and shit. I think the major thing that I need to do is because y'all know me, I'm very talkative, outgoing, interactive and sociable and all that sort of stuff, to the point where literally Aniki was like, hey, you want to be like the outreach dude for small ones? I'm like, I bet. I talk so much that he's literally like, go talk to people for me. Pretty freaking much, yeah. And I've actually talked to quite a few people about, hey, do you want to join small ones and would you be interested? And I've sent them the YouTube so that they can like look at the videos, see what it's like and about.
Yeah, if you guys are watching this video, you're included in this too.
Yeah,
you want to be a part of small ones? Go talk to Flamey.
Yeah, if you're a VTuber and you want to join small ones, talk to me. Make sure that you meet some of the prerequisites though, like being a streamer,
you need to
having an original concept, and actually being active, not just I stream once a month. Unless you're on break or hiatus, that's understandable. But my other thing is, I think for myself personally, the solution that I found to my burnout was there's like, I would say 3 or 4, there's a few freaking bullet points. And the first major one being that I need to look back, look at myself, look at the beginning of streaming till now, realize what I did good, what I did bad, and all that sort of shit. And also my major thing was I need to reevaluate reevaluate and reprioritize stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure the major factor for burnout and why I might have had some people who used to watch me a bunch no longer watch me or don't show up for every single stream is because I was doing it too much. So, and this actually goes into what Aniki was telling me about, and he was giving me like the phases, is when I do return from streaming, and I did bring this up in my Twitter post and Discord announcement for those of you who have not seen it, I pretty much explained that once I do freaking return from streaming, I am going to be streaming less often guarantee
You return from streaming. You mean your break? You return from your break.
Yes, yeah. You know what I meant.
Yeah, I know
Once
what
I
you
return
meant.
from my like 2-week break / hiatus or whatever from the burnout, I'm gonna be streaming less often. But if it's going to be better quality, it's going to be higher energies, so you don't have to worry about tuning into one of my streams and it's like 4.5 hours in and I look like I'm dead inside and tired and not making good content. Because what I'm planning is, and obviously this is going to depend on a few things, but pretty much I'm going to try and not exceed more than 40-50 hours a month. I'm going to try and take breaks in between streams and shit. So, like, for example, if I stream Monday, I'm not going to stream Tuesday. My original thought process was I'll switch it up every week. So I'll do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, and then next week it will be Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. That way I have a break in between every single stream. But even that might be too much because that's still what 3, 4, 3, 4. That's I can't do math.
I think
that's
it's
14
okay.
days of that's like half the month. That's like 14 days of streaming.
I think if you scrunch your stream time in between and take like longer breaks, I think that's okay too. You know,
I think another.
Like,
sorry, continue.
Like, just my suggestion. Like, if you just do like a certain amount of days and they're condensed too, like that's perfectly fine. Because then, otherwise, you can take like the rest of the days completely off and just do what you need to do outside of streaming, right?
Obviously, that would be freaking like I'm not necessarily going to be going live every single one of those days, so I won't necessarily do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday every single freaking time because obviously maybe I want to take a day off and have an extended break, or maybe I've got IRL stuff that comes up, etc., etc. But I also think with regards to that is I'm going to limit myself to about 3, maybe 4 hours of streaming unless it is a special occasion or unless the person I'm collaborating with wants to go a bit longer or something like that. Because I don't want to end early myself and then screw over this friend or individual or whatever. But
if it's a collab, I don't think you can really reschedule that one because it's already something planned.
Well, I'm not saying reschedule. I'm saying like I'm going to cap myself at a certain time so that I don't go for too long and I don't burn myself out midstream. Plus, I think another freaking major thing is that I'm gonna take breaks during stream. So like every hour or two,
you don't take breaks.
No. Okay, let me explain. I take washroom breaks and I go refill my hydration. It's not like oh yeah, I'm streaming. Let me just freaking go to the washroom in my room so that I can keep streaming. No, obviously I take breaks.
You guys heard it here. Flamey takes a break.
I don't need a bottle. I'm not on a road trip. I'm not on a freaking road trip in the car going like, yeah, hold up, can't pull over by the seconds we're on the highway. Let me just get this bottle that I just drank out of. Is that apple juice? No, you don't want to have that apple juice.
Oh, that's nasty.
Someone is going to end up
exactly speak out you. Roku thought of it.
You
I blame Roku for bringing it up.
Bro,
but no, I mean like.
Now.
But we'll get to that in a second. Okay. But what I mean by breaks is like I find that I usually didn't like for example when I went to go take a break to freaking use the washroom or run downstairs and refill my water. Oh my gosh, Flamey drinks water. What? Yeah, I'm talking IRL self, not Flamey.
Right.
But no, pretty much I would go take a break to use the washroom, refill my water, etc. I would just leave the stream as it is and just tell the people, hey, going for a break, instead of actually switching over to my intermission stream and taking like 5 to 10 minutes just to like breathe, relax, and hydrate and all that, which once I do return every hour, even if I've used the washroom, even if I've taken drinks previously or like recently, I'm just gonna be like, all right guys, hour marker, I'm gonna go take a bit of a like 5-10 minute break. Use this as an opportunity, get yourself some snacks, some water, use the washroom, take care of yourselves. Right. Or pop in and say hi to other streamers, because I know that I do that as well. I'll be like streaming, I'll pop and be like, hi, boop, and then
I go back there are times you were streaming and you messaged this by stream. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Go back to you.
Oh no, prime freaking example. Prime freaking example is my friend Monica. She has this is where I got the hydrate redeem from. Was Monica has her hydrates to a limit of 10 per person, 50 per stream. And that's why my hydrate is 10 per person, 50 per stream. Thanks, Malika. I stole that from you. Well, borrowed it to give myself inspiration, I should say. And pretty much I freaking use that. So whenever I see Monica go live, it's kind of like I was gonna say a ritual. It's kind of like a tradition for me to go in and spam with hydrates and then go back to my stream. So even if I'm freaking live in the middle of my stream, I see Monica go live because I get a notif or whatever, or Discord ping, and I'll be in the middle of a match or something, or like usually it's after a match, or if I can afford to be AFK or whatever, I'll alt tab, I'll go into Monica's stream, I'll spam her hydrates, and then I'll say, okay, I look now, bye, and then I'll go back to my stream. And sometimes she'll be like, how dare you? And then she'll freaking go into my stream and hydrate spam me back as revenge. But no, it's a fun little cute thing to have, and just like a little dynamic. Or like Roku said, yeah, I'll pop into her stream and be like, hi, Stemma. She's like, what are you doing? You're live. Go back to your stream.
I do.
Exactly, Aniki. No, you.
I just want to encompass everything you just said, because I think you made a lot of really good points with like how to identify it and what to do with it. But I just wanted to ask, maybe between me and Kat, Kat, for you, after hearing, you know, everything that Flamey has been through, is there anything you would actually like to tell Flamey or the audience more about streamer burnout?
Before you do that, I'm gonna go use the washroom.
Really? No, you can't.
Do you want me to go get the bottle? Do you want me to go get the bottle?
You have 5 minutes left. Can you hold it for 5 minutes?
Oh, I didn't know we only have 5 minutes. I'm dumb.
What? Are you serious right now? Get him out of here. You don't go.
Don't worry, I got the bottle. Don't worry, I got the bottle.
Producer, get him out of here.
Red Scuff feature. Wow.
Producer, cut him out.
No, you shall never silence me.
Anyways, you know. So.
I shall never be silenced.
Back, producer, why did you bring it back?
I will burn the tavern. Wait, hold up.
We're not in the tavern.
I'll burn those flowers to my left.
All right.
Yes,
so,
go ahead.
To try and answer Roku's question of advice I have for Burnout and for Flamey, take your time. Figure out what works for you. It's different for everyone. And try and, like, one of the things that hasn't been brought up that I think should be is sometimes it's a specific thing burning you out and you don't want to return to that thing. And that's fine. If it's a specific game that you realize that just does not work for you, don't feel the need to turn back to it. You can find other ways that don't burn you out.
Yeah, I agree.
I think another thing that I want to bring up, and I think I should freaking tell people, and I tell this, I say this shit to freaking every single one of my streamer friends. It pretty much, they're like, oh, hey, I'm not feeling too good, or I'm feeling sick, or I'm pretty much like, hey, IRL shit happened, I'm not gonna be able to stream tonight. Or if they're like, hey, I'm not gonna be able to stream for the rest of the week or whatever shit. If they're like, hey, stuff's happening, every single freaking time without failure, I tell them, go take care of yourself, put yourself first. You can always come back to streaming, but you, yourself, your health and your well-being, mental, physical, emotional, and your family and all that sort of shit. IRL stuff takes priority over internet stuff. Take care of yourself, because it's just like getting into a freaking relationship, because let's be honest, streaming is like being in a relationship to a degree. You cannot help other people or make content for other people if you yourself are not in a good place, mindset, and if you're not taking care of yourself.
I'm not gonna lie. Now I'm just thinking, I'm looking at everyone, I'm like, I'm in a relationship with you guys.
I mean, it's a parasocial relationship.
God damn it. But you get my point, though. My point is, and this is also with the burnout of, take care of yourself, focus on yourself and IRL stuff rather than streaming, because you and your mental and physical and emotional health and well-being come first. And if your people truly care about you, truly enjoy your content, and are truly friends with you, then they will understand, they will be patient, they will be supportive, and they will await your return.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really good place for me to end off with is everybody watching, whether this is on YouTube, if anything, keep posted there, whether it's on here on Twitch while you're listening, or the VOD, or whatever, go take care of yourself. Make sure you stay hydrated, eat some food, shower every day, don't be stinky like Roku, and...
What the hell are you talking about?
But yes, go take care of yourself. Tell the people who are close to you that you love them, and remember that you come first.
I'm gonna throw you out of this podcast.
It's probably about time too, anyways.
Aniki, throw him out.
Can we make that happen?
Can you throw? Thank you. Bye.
I've returned.
No.
Oh my gosh.
Hold on, I'm gonna dance on the table.
No, we need to be wrapping up anyways.
Yes.
Okay, so just a quick wrap up.
Too much.
I definitely agree with a lot of good points here. Is identify what is the actual issue, what is causing your burnout. Definitely passion is great, and sometimes you love doing something and then it just becomes stressful to you. It's okay to take a step back if you really need to. Take a step back from your passion projects. I know it happens with me in art. I know a lot of artists can agree with me. The artist burnout is real, right? You can't force creativity. It's sometimes that just has to come to you naturally when you want to do it, right? And also, yes, definitely. When you're a streamer, okay, just really quickly, I just want to explain that, like, sometimes you have streamer guilt, and streamer guilt is like, you feel bad for not streaming, and it's perfectly fine to just take a step back and focus on yourself, because at the end of the day, if you're not healthy, if your mind, your body is not healthy, then there's no way that your audience can't feel that. So it's better to always come back to stream when you're fully okay. Yeah. But yeah, let's wrap this up by saying thank you, Flamey, for being here. Appreciate you. You were fucking a wild card. Half the time, I wanted to throw you out of this podcast.
Only half? You know what? That's a new record.
That's pretty good. I know. That's pretty good. You made a lot of great points.
You're thinking to yourself, Flamey actually shut up for a bit? What?
That was like 2 seconds.
I don't think that counts, honestly.
No, yeah. Am I right, guys? But yeah, thank you for being here, seriously, though, sharing a little bit more.
Thank you for having me during my break.
Yeah, more in depth about your situation.
Can I be let out of the basement now?
No.
Can't help.
No.
And I just want to ask Kat, is there any final words you want to say before we wrap up?
I think you covered it with take care of yourself, make sure you know like how you're feeling and know when you need to take a step back from things or when you just need to change things up. Both are valid. And if you are going to be like many other VTubers and say to any other VTuber you see, take care of yourself first, you need to take that advice.
Yes, absolutely. Yay, don't take my advice.
Meow.
Hey. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us on today's episode of SmollCast. We'll be back after my vacation break, or who knows, you guys might see more podcasts during my vacation break with Kat. Kat is a great host, so you guys make sure to go check out SmollCast, even if I'm not going to be around, okay?
and for sure, you will see more of the SmollCast over on YouTube as well, so don't forget to check out the stuff there.
Also, don't forget to check out Small Ones and Evil Anarchy on YouTube if you want to see more of Small Ones and the people within it, and some good, funny content. And who knows, maybe when I return, I'll take over for Roku.
Hey. And Mr. Producer, thank you to you. That's pretty much Anarchy.
Yep.
Thank
where
you
you at? Mr. Smoll himself.
Yeah. Do you have any final words?
Mr. Small Ones.
I don't know if he can even be heard on stream at the moment. I think we might have changed that up.
Wait, I heard him slightly. He's very quiet, though.
Oh, we hear the voice of the gods.
Oh.
They
can hear you.
God, is that you?
We are just mass hallucinating.
Okay, you know what? I only had a few cups of coffee. I don't think I can hallucinate that much. And
Okay, copy the raid message, guys.
Small Wade, ooh woo.
Wait, should it be
Yes,
SmollCast?
go show some love.
Okay, you know what, that's fine.
It is a small raid. Look at you two.
Copy the raid message, guys.
Yes. And we will hope to see you guys next time when we do the next podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me do some crazy hand signals. Wait, is this right? Yeah, there you go.
I'll just wave.
Bye, guys. Thank you for
Bye.
listening.
I can't wave because I don't have the hand thing, but bye, guys.
Yeah, get good, Flamey. Get good.
You gotta wiggle.
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 Wait, no, don't just sing that. Don't sing that.
No.
You started it.
Oh, sorry.
Nope.
I blame Roku.
Why are you blaming me?
Because you started it.
I didn't do anything.
You said wiggle.
Wiggle.
I forget that Tommy makes music.
Okay,
Yes,
thank
Tommy
you.
is making music, so we'll
Mr.
go
Smoll.
see him make music.
Dropping some sick beats.
He's
Okay,
very
like
now,
Roku
now
dropped me on my
actually,
head.
goodbye, guys. Yeah.
Yes. Now, realistically, goodbye.
Don't forget to check out Small Ones, Roku, Flamey, and Cat.
Yes.
Did you
Well,
just
like me in third person.
yourself?
Yes.